Hi there guys, welcome to another video, issue number 35. The briefest bit of admin. I've got a copy to give away this week. All you need to do is subscribe and drop a comment. Doesn't matter if you live around the corner from my house or in the Amazon rainforest, I'll post it out to you. Right, okay, let's get into it. We'll make this up and have a look in a minute. Let's look at the magazine. So, we've got the Chaplain. So we've got Chaplain War Gear, History of the Imperium, and the Raven Guard Go to War. In this issue, the skull-faced Primaris Chaplain comes in this issue, and he will lead your Ultramarines to victory. Chaplains are grim heroes who inspire their brothers to great acts of valour. In your games, the Ultramarines around him will fight harder and almost never flee from the fight. To get this inspirational leader ready for the battlefield, we have detailed a build and paint guide for you. Many new painters find painting black armour tricky. Don't worry, our painting guide will teach you how to do it neatly. Happy hobbying. Happy hobbying. Okay, so Chaplains. Learn about the Chaplains, fearsome spiritual warriors. Primaris Chaplain War Gear, a guide to the weapons and equipment wielded by the stern and deadly Primaris Chaplains. Age of the Imperium, an overview of the Dark Ages through which the mighty Imperium has survived. Litany of Hatred, the Raven Guard find themselves outnumbered and surrounded. Chaplain Lorcus must rally his brothers. Then how to build it, how to paint it. Then we've got a Rules Mission 19, a Sacred Defence. A Primaris Chaplain leads defence of a sacred shrine. And then we've got our data sheet. And then obviously at the end we'll go through what we've got in the next couple of weeks. Okay, Chaplains. Chaplains are the spiritual leaders of the Space Marines. They are mighty warrior priests who preserve the rites and rituals of their chapter and inspire the brethren and inspire their brethren to selfless acts of heroism. So the Chaplains, their duties are spiritual advisor and master of ritual. Their battlefield role is an inspirational leader. And we'll go through their war gear in a second. And then we've got some more details about Chaplains here. Right, their war gear consists of their skeletal armour, the Crozius Arcanum, which is their kind of staff that they've got. They've got holy reliquaries. The book they carry is called the Tome of Litanies. And their weapon is an Absolver bolt pistol. And then it breaks down all of that war gear on the next page. In terms of Age of the Imperium, with the Horus Heresy receding even further into the distant past, humanity finds itself shrouded in superstition and fear. The Emperor's dream of an enlightened Imperium fades as warfare continues to plague the galaxy. And then we've got a little bit more history in here. What happens in Millennium 36, 37 to 41, and then in 41. So that's good. Oh yeah, and it continues on this page. Litany of Hatred is a battle. Heretic forces closed in on every side, pressing the remaining Raven Guard back. Snarl-toothed chain axes roared, chewing through power armour and leaving the ruined bodies of Space Marines in their wake. A chain axe swung towards Chaplain Lorcus. The force field of his Rosarius resounded with an electrical crack as it stopped the strike. Okay, so that's specifically about our dude. Okay, how to build our dude, how to paint our dude. So obviously from the front cover there's a lot of, it's almost completely black except for that the skeleton armour. However, I've noticed that in this there's an image there of some red fabric, and you can see that throughout. So all of the fabric they do, or almost all of it, is red for Chaplain Lorcus. I don't know why they're doing it different to what you normally get here, but I've got no problem with it. So there's a decent amount of paint in there, which gets us to this point, which is pretty good. Okay, Rules Mission 19, a Sacred Defence. The Shrine of Osama looms over central Barachius. Atop this vast structure stands a colossal statue of Saint Osama, a famous Corvossian warrior priest who was martyred during the Age of Apostasy. The Death Guard, keen to demoralise their enemy, have decided to corrupt this symbol of imperial strength. A small but powerful force has been mobilised in order to tear down the statue and befoul the shrine. That's good. That's very good. So, defend the shrine. What have we got? The Space Marine Reavers and Chaplain deploy anywhere in Zone A, which is here. The rest of the Space Marine units are set aside as reinforcements. The Death Guard do not deploy at the start of the game either. They will move into the battlefield in the Death Guard player's first turn from this edge here. Right, that's good. So, the Death Guard who deploy from here: 5 Plague Marines, 12 Poxwalkers, Noxious Blightbringer, Biologus Putrefier, and a Mythitic Blight Hauler. And they will be up against the Chaplain, 5 Reavers, 5 Intercessors, the Librarian, and 3 Hellblasters. So this is good. The Space Marine units that start the game in reserve can deploy at the start of any of the Space Marine players' turns. They must move on from Space Marine players' battlefield edge, which is along here. The Death Guard player moves their units on from their own battlefield during their first turn. The Death Guard player takes the first turn, so he will deploy all of his forces before our guys go here. Victory conditions: both armies gain 1 victory point for each enemy unit eliminated, which makes it easier for the Space Marine side, since the Poxwalkers are pretty, you know, they should be fairly easy to pick off a few by the time they arrive over here, mainly owing to the Intercessors and Hellblasters, because they've got a little bit of range. The first player to eliminate an enemy unit gains 1 additional victory point. Both armies gain 1 victory point for each unit that ends a game in deployment zone A, which is this small area here. The game lasts for 5 battle rounds. So that's good. Okay, so we've got our data sheet, and again, typical Space Marine style: 6-inch movement, weapon skill is 2 up, so that's really good. Ballistic skill 3 up. Everything else is pretty standard except for leadership of 10. A Primaris Chaplain is a single model armed with a Crozius Arcanum, an Absolver bolt pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades. Okay, so the bolt pistol, strength 5, damage 1, 16-inch range. The Arcanum deals 2 damage, AP -1, grenades as usual. Okay, so he's got a few more abilities as well. So as usual, they shall know no fear, which is fine, which is to reroll morale tests. Codex Discipline: models in this unit can still shoot in a turn in which they fall back. If they do so, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls in the shooting phase. He also has the Litanies of Hate ability. You can reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase for a friendly Ultramarine unit within 6 inches of this model. That's quite good. Spiritual Leaders: all friendly Ultramarine units within 6 inches of this model can use the Chaplain's leadership instead of their own. Very good. Up to that puts them on leadership 10. And Rosarius: this model has a 4 up invulnerable save. So actually this is a really cool model. Very, very good. Very interesting kind of skill set. So that's good. Right, so what we got then? Next week, paint. So Macragge Blue we've already had. Our shade is Athonian Camo Shade, which is good, and a base which we haven't had before, which is Steel Legion Drab. And then the following week we've got more of this, the same terrain that we got a couple of weeks ago. Riser Ruins, I believe it's called. But we should probably get a better couple of magazines in the coming weeks. So that's good. Very, very good. Right, let's make this bugger up. So, as your man there, he's very cool. He's got lots of cool detail. So the highlights are the skeletal armor, which I like a lot. A big fan of the book. When that's painted, I think it's going to look cool. His stuff is interesting. And kind of these flowing parts here, which you can see on the magazine, they're going to look good when they're done as well, especially if we get some little transfers to put them on as well. That make them look really awesome. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of this. Very, very good. And oh, he's not quite stuck onto the base, so let's pop him down for a minute. So overall thoughts of the issue: very good, actually. A decent amount of information in the magazine. I think the Chaplain adds some much needed support to the Space Marines. I think when you, on balance, I think Space Marines suffer against the Death Guard quite a bit. So I'm glad we've added some balance there as well, and he's really going to help the units. And it's really starting to turn. It's one of those units that makes you think more about the position of your guys. So getting the added benefit of leadership and that kind of thing is really, really good. So it's an excellent issue. So, like I say, if you want to be in with a chance of winning it, all you got to do is subscribe and comment. And next week, I will announce a winner. So there's not going to be any limits. I don't need to get a squillion views or anything. So this is a definite. If you want it, all you do is comment and subscribe. And that's it. I'll catch you later. See you next week. Bye.